Hi guys, good evening. I see that most of y'all have started joining in, so I'm gonna dive straight into today's presentation. So like I was saying, that today we're going to recap a little bit about what we've learned so far. So, what is technical analysis? What is the CMT Association? And then dive straight into something called as the five pillar strategy that Joel, myself, the association we work on. How will that five pillar strategy come into play, and what will be your project on back of that, right? So let me start off with the bare basic question: is technical analysis, right? And that's why all of us are here today. You are a part of this campus ambassador program. So what exactly is technical analysis? And most of y'all did discuss this quickly in the networking room with me, but to go back quickly recapping, technical analysis is nothing but the study of prices and volume in freely traded markets with the intention of making profitable strategic or investment decisions. What's very important over here is that they have to be in freely traded markets, and there have to be enough number of people making decisions by themselves as a sum total of all the information available out there. So it's nothing but the study of the law of demand and supply and how it plays out in the marketplace. What is important to note here is that the market must be comprised of a large number of buyers and sellers. And technical analysis is the study of these behaviors, patterns, how it relates to the market, the behavioral psychology that has picked up in recent times that we discussed earlier as well. So, all of these concepts, right, like fear and greed, emotions, motivations, how they play out in the market and how they form predictable patterns is nothing but the study of is the subject of technical analysis. So, three major assumptions that technical analysis undertakes is that prices discount everything. What does this mean? That the sum total of all the information out there, all of the information gathered by freely by individuals, is a result or is already included in the price that is currently reflected in the security, because buyers and sellers are interacting on their understanding of the price. So if there are a large number of buyers, the prices will tend to move up. A large number of sellers, the prices will tend to move down, and we work towards a market equilibrium. Another important factor is that prices move in trends, and these trends are periodic, are repetitive in nature, and history repeats itself. So, something that you all mentioned earlier, right? Fear and greed, fear of losing your money, fear of missing out, holding on to positions for too long, greed, making sure that have I not exiting in time. Those are all emotions that play out in the market, and they form patterns and fractal nature of patterns, which you will study a little ahead as well. Now, why does this matter, right? And you'll have seen this slide before as well, that there is a large misconception is that technical analysis is just about, uh, let's say, studying charts or looking at short-term trends and patterns. And this couldn't be far from incorrect. The discipline of technical analysis covers, as we have covered before, trading and investment. It covers short, medium, and long term cycles, sometimes running into 20, 30, 40-year cycles as well. I know I've quoted this before, but Martin Pring, in one of his books, actually spoke about time cycles that lasted over a 20 and 30-year time period. And technical analysis is nothing but recognizing these patterns and making profitable investment decisions based on these patterns and trends, while making sure that you are taking appropriate risk management levels in place. So, from this chart, right, it's a simple observation that imagine if you were investing in the market and someone who invested at this peak level over here in 2006, 2007. So imagine the person would have invested at somewhere around the 6,000 levels, and if they had not put in proper risk management procedures in place, they would have dropped somewhere down to the 2,000 levels. And that is a massive wipe off of all of the trajectory that they would have made over here. Similarly, if you see towards the 2020 levels, In a few months itself, you see a very steep decline. This was March of 2020, where the markets crashed. And again, prudent risk management procedures are very important and vital when it comes to taking strategic investment decisions, market related information, whether it's on your own personal investments or for your firm or the company that you are working on. Analyzing these trends, patterns over longer cycles is also very important for C suite level executives who are looking and analyzing markets over longer term cycles to make even business related decisions apart from just direct investment. So, where does technical analysis fit in, right? Anyone who has a market facing role or a customer facing role is a benefactor of the study of technical analysis. And we'll dive a little deeper into this. This chart you'll have seen before is nothing but the financial services industry. It's a snapshot of the industry, it's what we try to cover. And across all of these segments, whether it's corporations, broking, investment management, financial news and media, education, banks, and even the new and upcoming fintechs, all of these different segments and roles and firms categories that you see out here, they all leverage technical analysis as a study when their investment decisions or their market related decisions, whether they're client facing, customer facing, or market facing roles. So this comes to the second part we were discussing during our networking session, is what is the CMT Association? So the association is nothing but a global credentialing body with nearly 50 years of service to the financial industry. It is a global organization with member presence of about 137 countries now, and we have 36 or 37 internationally active chapters. And even though it was headquartered in New York, we have expanded globally. We've set up the Asia Pacific office, which you are where I am based out of and Joel is based out of. And over 35,000 individuals approximately go through some or the other programming of the CMT Association throughout a calendar year. So in all formats, they actually go through some kind of programming here and there. I am going to dive a little deeper into the history because this sets context of what we're trying to grow to and what we're trying to achieve. So, what started out as a small group of sell side analysts on Wall Street has now become an association of over 4,500 members. In 1967, there used to be informal meetings of a group of technical analysts back in New York. Ralph Acampora, John Brooks, John Greeley, these were the guys who were credited to be founders of the association. And there were about 18 members or so who came together, discussed technical analysis, and realized that there was a need of an association. So they incorporated the CMT Association as a not-for-profit in 1973. Initially, like I said, they just met to discuss the subject matter of technical analysis. But what they realized is that there was a need to qualify professionals who pursued this discipline and pursued it with a interest in higher education within this discipline, showing that they were dedicated to the practice of this trade. There was born the CMT exam, which is the primary bread and butter of the CMT Association. Um, the association authorized the certification program and began administering these exams in the late 1980s. And I think the first charters were given out in 1989. In 2005, the FINRA authority, that's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, submitted a rule filing with the US Securities and Exchange Commission to accept CMT programs level 1 and level 2 as an alternative to their Series 86 exam. What this means is anyone who's passed level 2 is exempt from the Series 86 examination that is required for financial analysts in the market. Eventually, we grew globally, and the first office outside of New York was set up in India, Mumbai. This was initially set up as a liaison office, and because of our expansion in the region, in the subcontinent region, the India office then grew into the Asia Pacific headquarters based out of Mumbai. And a special board subcommittee was also set up to promote the growth in this region as well. Like you correctly pointed out, is the Chartered Market Technician program during our networking session, which is nothing but a three-level examination that candidates have to take. Exams happen twice a year in June and December, and this taking the exam does not alone warrant you getting the designation. After you've done the three levels of exam, you need to meet certain minimum requirements, which is 3 years of having relevant work experience and going through a process which is called the sponsorship process, where existing active CMT members put your name up, recommend you to the board, you put in your application, and it's reviewed by the board, and then you are conferred the CMT charter. The three levels, as you all know, is spread across different topics, but basically, level one is nothing but an introduction to technical analysis. Level two integrates the subject matter into your actual applications, and level three is theory and analysis of TA. Apart from the program's actual body of knowledge, the core domain knowledges that this program tests are visible from the slide. It's basically into risk management, quantitative systems development, portfolio management, applied behavioral finance, and throughout all these topics, ethics in the market. So, ethics is an important factor that gets covered. And the reason I keep highlighting all of this is that you will see when we speak about the project as well. Okay, this slide I believe we've already covered in our past presentations, but the reason I'm covering it again today is that it basically highlights the value of conferring or getting the CMT charter. Um, this was a survey that we conducted amongst our member audience who said that after getting the CMT designation, what had they achieved or what were the significant milestones in their careers that they achieved. So what it did was more than 50% of the audience actually responded saying that they got unsolicited calls from recruiters. So they got new job opportunities. They got more responsibilities within their firms. They were able to achieve a new role or get promoted, an increase in salary. But one very important part is the one over here that you see. They were given more responsibility. So they were accepted as knowledgeable individuals who could actually take up more responsibility and trusted by the firm as well. This is the body of knowledge as a snapshot, the kind of concepts, topics, theories that are covered across the three levels. Important for you to have an idea about, and details about this can be found on our website if you want to dive further as well. So, now coming to the crux of our presentation today is the five pillar strategy. Now, this is a strategy that the CMT Association has employed historically to grow our presence. Um, as you've seen before, the association's objective is twofold. One is the advocacy of the subject matter of technical analysis across the globe. And second is to see more and more people take the CMT program, thereby being conferred the CMT designation to certify that these are professionals who are practicing the trade in a professional capacity. So, what are the five pillars? These are the five ecosystems that we as an association work with, and we work with them in different formats. We've covered, I think, two of them in the past quite deeply, which is the employer and academia pillars. But today we're going to go across all five of them. Starting with the regulators. As you saw in the previous slide, right, how FINRA accepted CMT level 2 candidates, past candidates, as an exemption to Series 86 examinations. We try to work with regulators across the globe. For example, let's take our domestic example as India. So we're trying to work with SEBI, the exchanges, and so on to find not just execution from licenses like the RIA, PM, RA licenses, but also to get a seat at the table when it comes to important policy decisions. What we're trying to do is build an ecosystem where regulators, exchanges, all of the, let's say, like your AMFI, IRDA, Ministry of Finance, RBI, when they take key policy decisions, apart from just having a singular view, take into account technical analysis and studies and the kind of advocacy we do into consideration while formulating important market related policies. So, influencing recruiters and industry agencies to consider CMT as an appropriate role and a professional designation is also a key part. Apart from your regulators, you have employers. Now, this ecosystem, everyone's aware, employers are your entire financial services industry that we work with. Where the CMT Association comes in is that we describe the employer as the demand side of the pillar. um, the more employers, the more firms get become aware about what the CMT designation is, how is the professional qualified, what does he study, how does it help in their workflow, the more acceptant or receiving they will be towards CMT charter holders, and thereby increasing the literacy, the overall knowledge, the functioning of the firm. So, widening acceptance to all the CMT charter holders in front office, client facing, and or market facing roles, marketing the CMT program to existing working individuals. So, let's say if a firm has um, front office roles like the trading desk or the sales desk, talking to them about the CMT program, the value it holds, why is it important for them, how does it help their firm grow. That is the entire objective of our work with the employer pillar. The ecosystem, as you've seen before, could be the likes of investment managers, brokers, banks, buy sides, corporates, treasuries, and so on. Academia is a pillar that you all belong to, are very well aware, but I'll quickly cover it as well. It's basically forms the supply side of the ecosystem. Can students that are taking various financial courses, engineering courses, and so on need to be career ready? So the academia pillar and our work via the academic partner program is to get students career ready for job roles that require market facing and front office facing, customer facing roles. So, partnering with accredited academic institutions to grow the CMT candidates base, encouraging research and writing of research and papers within the academia space are some of the key initiatives that we run in this pillar. The kind of ecosystem we work with over here are your business schools, accredited academic institutions, for that matter, even engineering schools who are working their way towards fintech roles and careers and so on. Apart from the three, we also work with the media pillar. And this is also a very important pillar because, as you all are aware, and as you all have heard us say before, unfortunately, technical analysis has a stigma, has got a bad name because any Tom, Dick, and Harry who could actually just see one pattern or a head and shoulders on a chart would go on TV, land up saying something, making people invest their money, making losses, thereby creating this ill perception that technical analysis all voodoo, whereas that couldn't be further from the truth. It's a discipline, it's a study. If applied correctly, it can actually help you time your entry exit and do absolutely the most important part is manage your risk. And that is the most important and crucial part. So, elevating public perception of technical analysis, publishing CMT work, building the charter holder brand in the media ecosystem, getting the right personalities in front of public, in front of the screen, that is where the CMT Association comes in. So, working with TV channels, newspapers, influencers, social media posts, creating general awareness, that's where our work with the media pillar comes in. And finally comes the membership pillar. Membership is more of an inward looking pillar, all the other ones were outward looking. The CMT Association, as you all are aware, is a member driven organization. Our staff is just about 9 members globally. And as you saw, we are 4,500 members globally. So having volunteers drive initiatives in local regions, running our chapter meetings, driving publications is all a part of the membership pillar. So, talking to charter holders, ex charter holders, candidates, figuring out what their requirements are, making sure they are continuously updated with current trends, knowledges, continuing their education, that forms the part of the membership pillar. You are already aware of the academic partner program, but just diving quickly because that forms the base of the academia pillar. We have initiatives like the campus ambassador program, the internship challenge, and the investment challenge, which we've discussed in the past. The core of the academic partner program is the program scholarship, where fees get subsidized to just $130 for level 1 and level 2 for postgraduate institutes. Again, these are only for full-time candidates of um, our academic partner institutes, and of course for faculty it's for all three levels. And then doing sessions, workshops, 1 day workshops on careers and technical analysis is an example that me and Joel do. Having charter holders come in and speak about basics of TA, advanced TA, and so on as well. And that brings us to the CMT strategy project, right? So what are we here to do today? Now that you know the background of the entire CMT Association, technical analysis, you'll have worked for projects in the past, you'll have conducted everything. What we want you to do is put your thinking hats on. Think of yourselves as the CEOs of this firm. Think of yourselves as me and Joel for that matter. You all are sitting in, let's say, the global office of the CMT Association, and now you have to devise a strategy on how you will build the advocacy of technical analysis and the CMT program. So this project is going to be a two-part project. Part one is what we are going to do today. Friday, 15th of April is your submission deadline. Same timings, 5 p.m. IST, 6:30 p.m. ICT, and 7:30 p.m. MYT. What you will need to do is work in groups, and the groups are already pre-decided. It will be visible on the next slide, and I will post it onto the Discord as well. You need to work in a group to prepare a presentation which is either in a PDF or a PPT format, or and along with that one social media post of your learning so far. You have to create a short deck that talks about any of the one pillar that you can pick up from the five pillars earlier. So I'll take a screenshot of the five pillars as well and put it over there. What you need to do is think of yourselves as owners of the responsibility of that pillar. If you were supposed to engage the media ecosystem or the employer ecosystem or academia ecosystem, this project will first judge your understanding of that pillar. So what you will need to do is go back, read our website, go through external research, understand the region, how its landscape is built out, where does the pillar come in, and present back to us. How would you work or engage with that pillar? You don't have to work on the strategy part right now. You have to work on the understanding. What is your understanding of the pillar right now? You can use external research and resources to compile your presentation, but you have to be working in the group. Scoring will be based off your understanding of the pillar, the depth of the research and coverage that you do, and the quality of the presentation, of course. The groups have been divided over here. These are the guys who are currently active on the campus ambassador programs. Don't worry about the taking down the names. I will post it back onto our Discord channel. And that's it for me, guys. I will see you all back in the networking group for any questions that you have, any queries. Happy to take up anything. If you want to know more about the project pillars, I'm happy to take questions there. I'm going to stop the stream now and I'll see you back in the networking channel. See you guys.